Godzilla has made a comeback on the big screen with his bigger rival, Godzilla -1. I've already released my out of theater reaction for the film. If you want to go check that out, that's live on my channel right now. And this is going to be my spoiler-free review of the film. I'm not going to be talking about any spoilers or reveals or surprises that this film may or may not have in store for you. This is going to be strictly spoiler-free, so if you haven't seen Godzilla -1, you are safe. You are safe here. I'm not going to spoil a thing, but I highly recommend that you go check out Godzilla -1 as soon as you can. This film is worth all your money. Like, I'm sure you've heard all of the reviews before watching this video. This is a highly praised film. And now, kicking off the ball straight away, I want to answer the big question everybody is wondering. How is Godzilla in this film? How are the action sequences? Godzilla in -1. This is the best portrayal of Godzilla I've ever seen on screen. This is the Godzilla that the Monsterverse hasn't been able to pull off yet. This is the Godzilla that Roland Emmerich wasn't able to pull off in his film. Like, Godzilla, he is vicious, he is violent, he is destructive, he is chaotic, and just he is a pure monster. He is pure evil right down to his soul. Like, he has no soul. He will kill anything and everything in sight. And just this is the Godzilla that we have not seen on script. There's none of that Millie Bobby Brown shit from King of the Monsters where it's like this relationship connection thing with the monsters. Like, get that shit out of my face. That's not Godzilla. That's not Godzilla. But -1 gets Godzilla 100%. They hit it on the head very well in this movie. Like, Godzilla, he is threatening. He is just vicious. Like, the atomic breath scene in this movie is one of the most breathtaking sequences I've seen all year. Like, as soon as it happened, my mouth literally dropped. Like, it is visually stunning. It is visually very frightening. And just, it's, you know, this film was only made on like 15 million from what I, quickly searched up before filming this review. And just what they were able to pull off with that budget, it is incredible. And this is the best the atomic breath has ever looked in a Godzilla film. So, you know, if that doesn't sell you on this film, I don't know what will, because that scene, it's like, you know, it's devastating to watch, because, you know, Godzilla fucking wiped out an entire fucking city, like, you know, like in just one breath here. And like, yeah, like you see the, you see it, kill all these people, but then there's this like, this back breath or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it is just an incredible looking sequence. And then the second part of the question, how are the action sequences in this film? Yeah, these are the best I think, I've seen in a Godzilla movie. Like, the action in this film, for what they were able to pull off, like, this film feels a lot more high budget than what its actual budget is. And, when you see some of these sequences, like, unfold, when you see all the gunfire going down and all of that, it's, like, it is, incredibly entertaining. They're very large-scale action sequences. I don't want to talk too much about the action because I don't want to give too much away there. But one thing that I have been waiting decades for, which, as much as I love, Godzilla versus Kong, and I liked, 2014's Godzilla and King of the Monsters and all that, one thing those movies were never able to get or understand is the audience wants characters. We want good characters and a good story, and -1 delivers that in spades. Like, the characters in this film, like, holy shit, that blew me the fuck out of the water. These characters, like, you actually feel sympathy for. Like, you are on their side. Like, these characters, they have seen, death in the face. They've seen, like, the fucking devil rise up from out of the water. Like, they've seen shit that no other person has. And, especially our main character here is he has actually, witnessed, people being crushed, people being killed by Godzilla in front of his eyes, and now he has to live with that fact. And then after the opening sequence, our main character goes back to his hometown to see his parents. And just, from that moment onwards, this film just had me fully immersed, in his story. Because, you see, I'm just trying to figure out how to phrase this. Like, he meets a girl later on in the film, and there's this relationship going on, and that they have a kid. They also have to what's the word here? They have to raise a kid by themselves as well. And keep in mind, this film is after World War II, so there's still a lot of chaos going on. There's still a lot of damage that World War II left that they're still fixing up in this movie. And just you can see in the character's eyes that that this is no world for for a baby to be grown up in. And so you really feel for this family. And then something happens halfway through the movie where these two characters are separated, or something happens to his wife that makes that he did not want to happen, because he's already lost half the people that he has loved. And so it's a very devastating character arc that he goes through. But then there's also an arc of redemption in here as well, where he wants to get revenge on Godzilla. He will do whatever it takes, if that means risking his life or killing himself just to kill Godzilla, he will fucking do it. And I think that's what made him such a powerful character. And not only is the character written really well, the performances also given are extraordinary in here. When you're seeing our main character cry and in grief, you actually that sympathy, it reflects very well on the audience. I have no problem admitting I actually cried once. I got teary-eyed in one scene in this movie. I have no problem admitting that. And just because this is just a normal guy who he wants to come home, and he just wants to live a normal life, but he also has to live with the fact that he has seen a lot of death, and he knows this creature is out there, but he wants to protect his family, and family comes first and foremost. And so there's all these different layers to our main character that I loved, that I gravitated towards. And just I think the performances really do add a lot to that. And then the film does have a few surprises in there, and it definitely does set up for a sequel, which I'd be all down for. I'd be all down for a sequel to happen. There's, while there's so little I can actually talk about in this movie, there's so much that I want to say. I think another thing in this film as well is the visual effects. They look better than probably 9 times out of 10 American blockbusters. The visual effects in this film look better than any Marvel film to come out in the past decade. And they made this on such a low budget, and they were able to pull off that scale of storytelling there. That is just incredible to me. And Godzilla's eyes in this film, just when you see Godzilla and when you actually look at him in the eyes, you really feel feel the fear like building up in the audience. And like, you know, Godzilla, he isn't supposed to be the, you know, like this happy-go-lucky, you know, character. This is supposed to be someone that, you know, you're scared of, and I think that's something that they pull off, you know, really well here. And you know, I think there's a few sequences in this film where, you know, you're seeing people run away from Godzilla, and you know, while, you know, like it's your typical Godzilla, you know, style of, you know, of action right there. What I really appreciated about this time around is there's only so far these characters can run before they reach a dead end. Like before Godzilla does eventually, you know, kill all of them. And just, you know, that I really liked. You know, that I really liked is there's this sense of dread throughout the film. There's this sense of like you want these characters to survive, but you know, if you're on the ground, you know, you're going to come to a dead end where it's either like you jump in the water or you stay on land. Like they're your only two options here. But either way, you are going to die. And so, you know, I think just that knowing you're going to die, I think is just like really terrifying. At the way they portray that in here. And then another thing that I also really did not expect in this film either was the second act, where they start to kind of plan how they're going to take Godzilla down, and you know, like, and they go through, you know, like what could work and what wouldn't work, you know, what, like why they think that this is their best option, why they think that this isn't our best option. And just, you know, when they were just spitballing like ideas, when they were in that room together, and they were just, you know, kind of showing like, you know, examples and and demonstrations of how this would be like portrayed. Like it's, you know, like it's really like incredible to kind of see, like, especially for that time period, like, you know, this is the 40s, 50s. And you know, there was no technology back then. Like there was so little that they could actually use to defeat Godzilla. Like if Godzilla was an actual creature, like it's, yeah, this is a very hard time period when there's, you're almost, you know, very little to nothing that's actually invented that can go up against like this gigantic beast. And so, you know, I think, you know, that I really liked. That had some tension all within itself there at just how they were going to take this down. And even when the third act, you know, comes around, and, you know, and they have to go to the deepest part of the ocean to pull this off, like there's still some uncertainty there. Like these people had no idea whether or not this was actually going to work. Like this was their best shot. Like if something was going to work, you know, we had to at least try. And just, you know, just that, you know, like that sense of dread that's really all throughout the film. You know, that especially in the third act, like, you know, in your head you were just thinking, what if this doesn't work? Like what if this does not work? Like, you know, what's your plan C here? And so, you know, I think, you know, that was, you know, gripping all within itself. Like there's definitely a few things in this movie that I wasn't particularly a big fan of. You know, there's a scene which I cannot talk about, but there's a scene in the second act which I was like, really? But, you know, like, I mean, I can kind of look past that because everything else surrounding that little scene or that little moment is perfect. Like, this is the Godzilla movie that we've been waiting for. This is the quintessential Godzilla film. And just like, it nails like the characters, it nails the storytelling, and just, that's something that I think it really, when you combine all three ingredients together, like characters, story, and the action, like it all mixes so well together. Like good characters reflects, intense action sequences, as well as an intense and immersive story as well. So really, like, all three ingredients really mix really well in this film, and just, it is directed and paced pretty well. Reason why I say that is because there's like a good maybe 15-20 minutes towards the end of the second act where I was like, they are dragging this on a bit, but what kept me invested, during those 20 minutes, was the characters. But like, it did feel like, the movie was at a peak, and then it went down, and then it went back up, and then it stayed at that peak. So like, I think it's kind of good that we had that downtime, but like, I did find it a little bit slow. I did find it a little bit boring, but at the end of the day, I had a great fucking time with this movie. I had a great time with Godzilla -1, and like, I'm not the biggest Godzilla fan per se, but this film really surprised me, and I think this film will really win over like a new audience, and just with I think it's really good. A film like this is getting the recognition it deserves, because Chinese and Asian cinema, and just foreign films in general, they don't get the recognition that they deserve. Like Asia in particular, they have a great selection like of horror films out there, both like horror and non-horror titles, and same with the Chinese like cinema as well. They have some great fucking movies out there. So it's really good to see like a movie like this, being talked about on social media, like hearing word of mouth, hearing people praise this film. Like it's really good. A film like this is really supporting, because I think like not only is it good for like cinema chains, but it's also good for the Chinese cinema to kind of make more movies like this and kind of get more of their titles out there. So like, I think this is good all around, right? So anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments, what did you think of Godzilla -1? Let me know all of your thoughts and comments down in the comment section down below. Sorry, I had something in my throat there. Did you like Godzilla? What were you kind of mixed on it, or did you love it? Like, I don't think there's really going to be anyone out there that that will hate this movie or even dislike it. So I'm not going to ask that question. Just let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section down. Jesus Christ, I'm not doing a good job pulling off this review, am I? So let me know all your thoughts and comments down in the comment section down below, guys. So until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Alright, bye.